Wait, should we get a jacket?
Yeah.
Okay, watch.
A big red coat.
Hold up.
The big red coat.
Hold up.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hey guys, this is ktwinTV podcast and welcome to the community.
So today Kunda and I will be talking about a phrase that we often say,
Wear a jacket when it's cold.
We've all been there, freezing, regretful, and cold, just fantasizing about wearing that jacket you left at home in the closet, specifically after your mom told you, don't forget your jacket. But you just pretended to forget, and now your teeth are chattering and you realized that you played yourself.
Our phrase, wear a jacket when it's cold, has always been about self-sabotage as well as self-help. I think whenever we use this phrase, it's more of a push for us to realize solutions that are right in front of us or to answer our own questions. A literal example of us not wearing a jacket when it's cold was about summer 2017, when during that time it was really popular to wear like a little crop top with a flannel.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to the fair with some friends, and so we decided to wear that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And twinning is winning, so we both wore it. But I think we were wearing like high-waisted Levi's shorts, and then like she wore Air Forces and I wore like Vans or something. Anyways, it was during the daytime that we were thinking about as we were putting on these outfits, because it gets really hot and sunny at the fair, but we were forgetting how cold it gets in Oregon during the nighttime.
Right.
We didn't want to bring the jackets mainly because just holding them would be a hassle, like, oh, I have to put my coat down before I get on this ride, or we just thought it would ruin our outfits, it just wouldn't be cute, and none of our friends were wearing a jacket, so we were like, okay, let's just go.
Right, we just left it home, but very soon we regretted our decision. So as the sun began to set, obviously it began to get really cold. So after the cotton candy and the concerts and the laughs and the rides, we were filled with goosebumps. Suddenly we were tense, our teeth were chattering and were shivering, and spirits were suddenly very low. And so we had to just eventually just abort mission and just go home early because we were just so cold. And the lesson that we learned after that was wear a jacket when it's cold. You know, like we could have stayed at the fair longer, made more memories, had more fun if we just took our jackets at home, which kept us warm. You know, like if you think about it, if it's 20 degrees outside, are you going to leave your jacket at home? Of course not. You're going to bring it with you because you know that's what's best for yourself. It answers your problem that you're going to face inevitably, and you'll thank yourself later. And I think most importantly, when I look at the situation, because it wasn't just the fair, I used to do this all the time when I was younger.
Yeah.
No one's looking at your fit that hard, you know? You're not Kim K.
You know how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation.
But on a more serious note, the situation of not wearing a jacket when it's cold, as Kudzai said, happens way too often in a lot of different contexts. People have the habit of self-sabotaging and ignoring solutions that are right in front of them oftentimes. And we walk on these paths and then regret it every single time. I think something that we have to learn to do is to show up for ourselves and do what's best for us. The same concept can be applied to responsibilities as well as personal issues.
For example, if you have an assignment, get it taken care of, or if you feel like you need to have a conversation, confront somebody, or confess something, go for it. Or if you have a hobby that you've yet to pursue, just do it, you know? This phrase, wear a jacket when it's cold, is a phrase Kunda and I often use as a guide to sway away from self-sabotage. I think we all deeply know what is best for ourselves, but sometimes we are discouraged for various reasons to just grab that jacket, you know? We know what we want for ourselves, we just have to go out and do it.
I think there are two main reasons that most of us are guilty of self-sabotage and not wearing our jacket when it's cold. The first that I can think of is overthinking. Overthinking gets you to clouding your brain and mind and your thoughts, and it makes you way too ahead of yourself, and you start doubting and questioning the things that you're deciding on, or your options in general. The second one is not asking for help. When you don't reach out or ask for help, you're only putting yourself in a position to further doubt yourself or to overthink and get ahead of yourself. You can't always handle all of your burdens alone. And although you might feel like you're putting pressure on another person, there are always people willing to help you. You just have to ask.
Like Kunai just said, there are always reasons why people can't simply just grab that jacket and go. There are limitations which block us mentally from pursuing what we really want to do and what we know is best for ourselves. And there's 3 simple steps that kind of we use in order to get through this whole wear a jacket situation when we get into one. The first is just to break it down. What exactly do you need? Figure out just in general, what is your problem? So if it's an assignment, say math, that's what you need to do. And then the second step is to make a list and have a detailed list, which gives you the ability to visually see what you need to work toward. So do problem 1, ask for help, watch a video, whatever you may need to do, break it down. And then the third and most important step is to reach out, because I think we know what's best for ourselves, but sometimes we don't always know how to reach those solutions ourselves. And so people around you are all there, and people all have different tips and tricks and abilities and talents that can make your solutions easier to see and easier to reach. Most importantly, we must recognize that not everyone has the ability to wear a jacket when it's cold. Sometimes the closet door is locked. What I mean is that opportunity is not equal for everyone. There are certain barriers which make people's goals harder to reach. For example, the lock on the closet door may be that someone has a learning disability, which makes learning an obstacle, or social anxiety, which sways one away from hosting a difficult but necessary conversation. Or maybe you have a hobby, but you can't afford the equipment to pursue that hobby.
However, even with certain barriers, we feel that you can still wear a jacket when it's cold by doing step 3, which is reaching out. When you reach out, you provide more options for yourself, and there are always people around you who can serve you and support you through whatever you're going through or whatever you need done. Additionally, sometimes these barriers can push us to be innovative and creative with how we will create solutions to mitigate our problems and get through them. For example, I'm really passionate about art, and I've always wanted to start a blog, a website, or an account. I didn't, like, my excuses for myself to not do it were, what if no one wants to see it? What if it's going to be lame? Or what if it just wasn't it? I just didn't want to take that risk. And also my barriers were, I'm a college student. Like, I can't afford to go out and get all these new supplies and do a whole haul. It's just not possible for me right now in the situation that I'm in. I didn't have traditional art supplies, but I went out and found ways that I could compensate for that and still create art and have a good time doing it. For example, for the most recent project that I did, I literally used crayons from elementary school. Or I've done a project with hangers from my own closet, or old boxes in the garage, or just different materials and items from around the house that you can still create and use to make art. I feel like you don't always have the proper things or the most traditional ways to do things, but you can still get them done as long as you have that vision for yourself and you go for it however you're going to get there. I'm just trying to get at the fact that it's okay to be inventive and to do stuff in a non-traditional form. You have to do whatever it takes, whether that involves taking risks to get what you want, but also make sure to reach out to others if you need that additional help and support. Hopefully you guys will be able to apply this wear a jacket when it's cold concept to your own lives, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching. We hope you guys can join us next Sunday, where we will be collaborating with our very first guest. Stay posted on our Instagram at ktwinTV podcast to find out who our guest will be.
Yes.